Interpretive and pragmatic boundaries have significant impact on the way knowledge is shared between individuals and firms. This can result in knowledge failing to be shared effectively and lead to problems in organisations achieving their objectives. Particularly drawing on the works of Carlyle 2004 and Husted and McIvor 2002, the following scenario has been developed to explore the tensions that arise between firms and even within a company when knowledge sharing breaks down due to interpretive and pragmatic boundaries. The scenario: Tom is the project manager and visionary in charge of developing Auckland's pitch for the 2026 Commonwealth Games. A key component of this pitch is the design of the mascots, following on from Japan's success in creating mascots for the 2020 Tokyo Summer Olympics. Tom hopes to create the same amount of buzz around Auckland's Commonwealth Games and reap a similar positive financial impact. Unable to find a suitable private sector partner domestically, Tom turned to the international market and managed to establish a tentative agreement with Equinor, the Norwegian oil giant. Equinor is excited by the opportunity to utilise exposure from their support of the Games to both drive an immediate economic return and establish itself in the minds of the governments and consumers across the Commonwealth. They are particularly focused on the post-Brexit UK, India, South Africa and Australian markets, as they look to diversify away from petroleum into renewable energies. Ola is their head of special ventures. Tom and Ola are briefing Wellington-based design agency NAMA on their objectives for the mascots, with NAMA's senior consultant designer Josh taking the lead.
Thank you both for being here today, and Ollie, I've got to say I love your office. I really love the decor. I'm really excited to get cracking on this. Ollie, if you're happy, I'd love to give Josh an outline of my vision for the Games, and then we can go through specific details.
Yeah, Tom, go ahead.
Professional as always, Ollie. Fantastic. So Josh, here is what I'm thinking. Everyone knows New Zealand has the land of the Kiwis and silver ferns. And while I love that, we all love that, I want us to go bigger, broader, different. I want us to play up on an amazing native flora and fauna we have. Can you imagine this? Every kid walking down Green Street holding one of our mascots. Stadiums full of happy, smiling people. New Zealand on the world stage. I envision people all around the world. India, Hong Kong, Canada, all Googling these mascots, wanting to buy one for themselves. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Sounds great, guys.
Tom has engaged in storytelling to articulate his requirements. Taya and Ehrlich, 2005, explore this in their work, highlighting how it can be effective in relating tacit knowledge. However, they also identify the limitations that such an approach can have in relaying information to a diverse range of people who do not have enough shared collective understanding. The use of storytelling in the situation creates an interpretive boundary, specifically with regards to the semantic capacity outlined by Carlyle 2004. Tom presents domain-specific knowledge but does not work to ensure common understanding is reached with the other participants.
I know, right? I'm thinking we should lean into what people associate with New Zealand, imagery and colour-wise. Our birds are so unique. The kia and kakapo and keruru could be perfect, but I'm happy to see other ones centre stage. You know? And all of them have Māori names that are unique to New Zealand, and I think we can capitalise on this when coming up with their mascot names. Ollie, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, from what I understand, this is suitable. From Equinor's perspective, we would want a mascot to be, how do you say, passer med varumärke. You know, company, logo, and color all put together. Everything should be big and digitally accessible, really modern, you know, referencing Equinor in a way that really increases our exposure.
I've got it. I've already got some great designs.
Husted and McIvor, 2002, talk about the tension and hostility that can occur between two firms with differing objectives. As representatives of substantially different organisations, Tom and Ola have briefed in components to design that reflect their company's interest. However, they had not spent time engaging with each other to see where these aligned or diverged. Tom wants to raise awareness of New Zealand, as this is critical to ensuring the support he needs for the pitch. Ola wants to ensure the return on investment being made by Equinor and increase brand awareness in digital channels. Hastert and Mikhailova discuss how by keeping knowledge from each other, firms end up creating issues when trying to achieve their outcomes. Carlisle 2004 would potentially class with this withholding of information as a pragmatic boundary, as the lack of shared objectives inhibit the ability to make trade-offs between differing positions.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening, but they fought with expert timing.
Hi Josh, it's Helen. I'm the CID assigned to the Com Games brief. Do you have time to discuss?
I'm a bit busy. Everything you need is on the paper I provided.
Of that, I'm just wondering if I could maybe chat to the clients just to confirm a couple things.
That's not necessary or practical. One of the clients is in Norway and has meetings that he needs to set up in advance. We have a follow-up session earlier next week that they expect to see prototypes at. Can you deliver these?
Carlisle 2004 discusses the role that path dependency can play in stifling innovation. By focusing on past knowledge, Josh is ignoring potential novel information that could drive success. This, coupled with the embedded knowledge that Blackler 1995 identifies as a significant influence in encouraging people to follow established practices, as opposed to trying to incorporate new learnings. The opportunity to cross a pragmatic boundary was available to Josh and Helen, but not cross as they did not share their domain knowledge and use it to establish a new best practice through trade-offs and re-evaluations.
Here you go, the mascots for Auckland 2026.
This is not quite.
Fy fan. Those are so ugly.
Helen, the clients were completely unhappy with the prototypes you produced. This is not good enough and will have serious impacts on your annual performance review.
But I...
This is an example of the punishment that Hastert and Mikhailova 2002 discuss in their article. They identify that the driver of tension between people at different levels in the hierarchy is often a fear by senior members of being supplanted by new arrivals. Larve 1991 goes on to add that senior employees may try to maintain a junior's relative lack of knowledge so that they cannot become legitimized within the organisation. The likely result of this scenario is an unwillingness from Helen, the junior, to seek new information and incorporate it into the firm, driving a lack of knowledge in this community of practice, as outlined by Gehardy and Mila 2018. This would reduce potential innovation of the company. Carlisle 2004 discusses how interpretive boundaries can be overcome through his 3T framework. Some practical ways that the issues above could have been avoided is by 1. Tom and Ola sharing their inherent goals and probing each other as to the priority of these before trying to brief Nama. By creating a combined vision, they would have more effectively shared their knowledge and increased the likelihood that the prototype was successful. 2. While discussing his vision, Tom could have spent more time explaining his perspective in non-context specific language and engaging with the other participants to ensure a shared understanding. An example of this would be asking for the other participants to repeat what has been discussed to ensure consistency, or seeking questions from them. 3. Within organisations like NAMA, the use of flatter hierarchies and collective performance outcomes shared by senior and junior staff members would likely result in less interdepartment or interlevel tension. For Josh and Helen, this could be manifested in both employees being at the briefing meeting, followed by a session focused on sharing what they have gathered from the brief and what novel approaches they could take to meet their clients' expectations.